What's going on YouTube? Welcome to a video where I talk about Battlefield 4's performance across different hardware, but first I'm going to make a note about the gameplay. I'm using the Caltech DMR. This is a gun that's usable by all classes and it's unlocked with enough total recon score. It has a single shot fire mode, it has a max damage of 43 and a minimum damage of 30. This means that it will take 3 shots to kill at close range, 2 if one's to the head, and 4 body shots to kill at long range, but 3 if one is to the head. This plays very much like the SKS or the M417 from Battlefield 3. I liked those guns on console but not so much on PC because you need to make rapid follow-up shots due to the number of shots to kill, and rapidly clicking while aiming is harder to do on a mouse than pulling the trigger and moving the thumbstick on a controller. You'll see me use the iron sights a lot even though I have the ACOG unlocked. Aiming down sights shot this version is way too high for the ACOG zoom level to be reliable, and the number of follow-up shots you need means you need to shoot quickly or lose your target. It'll give you more recoil and it's hard for the scope to settle. I think this gun will be much better if you unlock a red dot sight or a hollow sight as the primary sight, but you have very limited unlocks in the beta. The hip spread seems to be a little wide compared to the SKS or the M417 in Battlefield 3. This gun is not so good in domination, but in the right hands it could be a mid-range monster in the main objective modes in Battlefield 4. I like how it's available for all classes. It gives engineer and support class more reach and flexibility on larger maps, but now let's talk about the game performance. Before I talk about hardware, I will talk about Windows 8 versus Windows 7. Windows 8 will outperform Windows 7 by a significant margin, there's no question about it, and there's no debating it. You will gain between 10 to 20 frames depending on your other hardware. Battlefield 4 was built from the ground up to use Windows 8 DirectX 11.1 features, and it's likely going to perform better on Xbox One than the PlayStation 4 because of this. Ever since I've started PC building advice on my channel, I've always recommended Windows 8, but it's 2013 and people are still hesitant about Windows 8. When it comes down to it, the two biggest reasons why people think Windows 8 is bad is because 1. They said so, or 2. They don't like the way it looks on a desktop. It's very easy to replicate the Windows 7 look. It takes 3 minutes worth of downloads to get the start button and other widgets you want. Rant over. Let's take a look at GPU and CPU performance. All of these numbers come from a Russian website, Game GPU. The GPU performance hierarchy is pretty standard relative to other games, but I'm surprised the 7970 didn't surpass the 770. Video RAM usage could be hurting many who want to play at 1080 because even some high-end NVIDIA GPUs like the 770 have 2 gigs of video RAM for their primary model, where the 4 gig model is significantly more expensive. A lot of AMD users should be fine because you can get more video RAM at a lower price point when rolling AMD. CPU performance is where things get really interesting. Battlefield 4 makes excellent use of more CPU cores than the average game. i5s will be at a disadvantage compared to i7s. What's even more notable about CPU performance in Battlefield 4 is that the game values spreading out the load over more cores as opposed to using more power per core. Even though the Intel i5 has stronger core-to-core performance than an AMD octa-core, the octa-core has better in-game performance with the performance load spread out across more cores. This is definitely some food for thought for new system builders. Previously, for many mid-range to mainstream builds, going with the i5 over the i7 was solid advice, as most games wouldn't take advantage of the i7's ability to have more workers through hyper-threading. But now, higher core count and AMD CPUs are looking to be more relevant for mid-range to mainstream builds if you don't want to go with an Intel chip. It looks to be a precedent for the future of PC gaming to use more cores because Watch Dogs is also rumored to use 8 cores for the best experience. I think this is a great sign for PC gaming moving forward because it is about time that games make better use of high-powered CPUs. The drawback is that i5s will be a bottleneck for high-end GPUs, whereas i5s and i7s could be neck and neck in most previous games. AMD paid $5 to $8 million for this optimization deal, and DICE went all out to give AMD its money's worth. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more Battlefield 4 videos. My name's David, and I'll see you next video.